What up, Salvador Briggman here. Welcome back to the Crowdfunding Demystified podcast. On this show, I bring on real-world entrepreneurs, people that are raising money every single week in the category that is crowdfunding. They're literally building a tribe from scratch. They're getting funding from the crowd, and we share with you on this podcast how to do the exact same thing, no matter where you're hailing in from, no matter what age range you are in. I'm telling you, there is a success story if you go into the archives of this show. And that's kind of why I actually started this whole podcast, just to prove to you this is possible, but also to share with you the tried and true methods that are leading to success. And I think today's interview is actually a great example of that. Guys, we are so lucky to be able to speak with such incredible creators, inventors, and entrepreneurs. Today's creator actually was able to launch seven successful Kickstarter campaigns. Launching a heck of a lot of campaigns on Kickstarter has led him to see success and be able to share that with you and really break it down into almost like a science or a formula, if you will. And with his most recent campaign, being able to attract over $130,000 from more than 1,000 backers for a really nifty solution. That's really great for people that love biking. So we'll get into that in just a second, but that's kind of the name of the game. And that's something that I realized very early on in my life. When I was younger, I loved my uncle. You know, my uncle unfortunately passed away, and he always had this great ritual of playing chess with me every single year around Christmas time. And I loved playing chess with him just because I got to spend some time with my uncle. Oddly enough, my uncle was actually a priest, but he's probably one of the smartest guys I've ever met, really like a brainiac. And he was such a good chess player. And literally, he would win every single Christmas time at chess. I started to get really frustrated because he would never let me win. So eventually, I did the only thing that I knew how to do, which was I started to look up for information. And sometimes when you are actually seeking out the right information, it actually leads you a step forwards in life. I think that when you have access to the right information, it can make a massive difference in your success, no matter what category of life that is, whether that's business, raising funding, or in this case, learning how to play chess, right? So I picked up a chess strategy book. I started to actually learn some strategy. I started to actually understand how the different chess pieces move, the strategy when someone's attacking you, how to defend your pieces, how to attack again. And I picked up a heck of a lot of strategy. And this is basically just smart tricks, insights, tools that other people had discovered that I was able to very easily digest because I was reading a book on chess strategy. And then the next time I played my uncle, oh my gosh, it was like a light bulb moment went off, and I actually was able to beat him for the first time ever at the game of chess. And ever since then, what I realized is that no matter what area of life it is, there is an existing strategy. Other people are seeing success. And in today's podcast episode, you're going to hear from one person who's seen incredible success with multiple campaigns, raised over 6 figures. And if you copy the strategies that work, you too can see similar results. So if you really want to understand the mechanism and the mechanics that go into raising money from the crowd, if you want to be able to launch a new product into the world, whether that's a physical product, a gadget, a gizmo, could be a tabletop game, could even be a comic book, could be something more artistic and related, for example, a novel or a film or something like that, or even a theater project, I put together the formula which will allow you to not only hit your goal on Kickstarter, but blow past it. And I put all of this, I crammed this into one slender volume, the Kickstarter launch formula. This is my book, which is available on Audible and also available on Amazon. And lucky enough, we are so lucky today. Audible is doing a great promotion where you can get a free copy of the Kickstarter launch formula if you go to the link I'm about to mention, and you get a free 30-day trial of Audible. So just go to this link at crowdcrux.com/Kickstarter formula. That link is crowdcrux.com/Kickstarter formula. Crowdcrux.com/Kickstarter formula. Formula will take you there to the paperback version, or if you want the Audible version, go to crowdcrux.com/Kickstarter audio. That's crowdcrux.com/Kickstarter audio. Guys, I have put together actually a free course for you, but I don't want to keep talking on. I'll tell you about that more towards the end of this podcast for those of you that do want more than just the textbook, just the formula, just the book on crowdfunding, and make sure to link that up in the show notes. Without further ado, let's jump right in and let's discover how this individual was able to raise over $100K with his most recent Kickstarter campaign, and it's coming up right after this. Hey guys, welcome back to the Crowdfunding Demystified podcast. Today we're speaking with a creator who's been able to attract over $100,000, over $130K for his campaign, the SEATYLOCK Forever. And also was able to attract more than 1,000 backers. Is the perfect locking solution, strongest folding lock ever made. We have a member of the team here. welcome. So excited to welcome Michael to the podcast. Michael, it's great to have you here.
Hi, thanks. Thanks a lot.
Definitely, man. So let's get started. When it comes to the product, maybe you can kind of fill in some gaps there and tell the audience a little bit more about what you've been working on here.
We've been working on a foldable lock. It's almost like any bike lock, but not really like any bike lock. And generally, before in the beginning there were chain locks, and then there were U-locks, and now they're getting to be more and more popular folding locks. But we tried to get an edge on it that different companies didn't do before.
So this is so that it's kind of more portable, right? You can take it with you easily with your bike. Don't have to lug something around that's kind of cumbersome, right?
Exactly. Because it's generally speaking, a chain lock is a great solution, but it's really hard to carry. It's really hard to take with you. There's no good way to place it on a bike. And U-locks are great because it's very easy to carry them, but on another way, they're not so flexible when locking. So folding locks give you the best solution. They're very small when you carry them, but they're like a chain lock when you open them. So yeah, they're quite perfect, and they're getting more and more popular all over.
And what was your role on the campaign here? What was sort of your role within the team?
I'm the company's CEO, so that's not only the one I'm working with, of course, but on the project, but I'm kind of leading it.
And are you the one also who came up with the idea behind the product?
I came up with we have a nice patent that makes our folding lock unique and different than other companies' folding locks. But the folding lock concept as a concept is not ours. Is a specialized concept. The bike company Specialized. They invented the folding locks, actually.
Okay, interesting. So how did you stumble on this solution or this product that can help so many people? What's the story of you really discovering this?
Well, I ride a bike not daily, but almost daily. I don't commute to work, but almost anywhere else when I come back home and I have to go somewhere. So I use my bike. So I've used all kinds of locks for many years. And then we stumbled upon folding locks, and the company started with a different product, actually, but then we started making folding locks. It was an interesting start first.
And how long has the company been in operation now?
The company's been in operation since 2012.
Okay.
So that's almost 11 years right now.
That's awesome. Huge milestone. Congratulations on that.
Thanks.
So when it comes to that, I mean, starting your own company is a huge endeavor. What were you doing before that?
Before that, and still I'm doing it in the same time because that company works. We're producing metal industrial parts. So we're working with different producers, mainly in China, but in India also. And we're producing metal components for industrial companies. And we have our own QC team there. We have our own logistical team in China. So we're producing really high-end metal industrial components for industrial factories.
What motivated you to move into a different vertical of really creating products for bikes and that kind of solution?
For that, I have a clear answer because we at the first company we're making just components for other companies. Well, actually, not components, parts. And here we have invented, we're inventing our own products. We write patents. We do. It's our own product. It's our own creation. It's just way more interesting, and of course, business wise, it's the potential is bigger as well. But the difficulties, as the potential is bigger, the difficulties are bigger as well.
Yeah. So you wanted to do something on your own. It sounds like creating something for other people that you really made.
Exactly. It's really fun when I go around somewhere and I stumble on a product we made. It's it's not only about the business side of stuff. We're proud of making products that people use and people love. It really makes us proud.
Super cool, man. So I mean, you have a successful business. You have a couple different verticals there. What made you decide to go to Kickstarter to unveil this most recent one?
So we've been using the Kickstarter for quite a while. Actually, from the first product, which was a very special, very actually the first project was another folding lock. It was the first folding lock we made. It was in September 2013, and that was the first folding lock we made. We used Kickstarter as a like a jumpstart platform. We were really we didn't have any products by that time. We didn't do anything by that time. So Kickstarter really helped us out in starting the way there. So that was the beginning. Right now, this is our sixth project, and it's less about getting the money from the project or raising the money. It's more about getting people to know a product when we launch it. That's the biggest advantage for us right now.
I see. So kind of Kickstarter catapulted that initial new shift, right, into creating products for bikes. And it sounds like that kind of is where you got your initial audience, right? When it comes to that line.
Totally. The first, I remember we had 571 backers. I just have the number in front of me. Don't remember it. But these 571 Kickstarter backers 10 years ago were the first 571 customers of SEATYLOCK. These are first customers all around the world. It was amazing for us. It was an amazing thing.
So, in hearing that, I think someone who's listening to the show might be like, wow, this guy has been able to knock it out of the park with multiple campaigns. Have you taken away any kind of learning lessons from being successful multiple times on the platform, and maybe even, some lessons from failure? Have you taken away any lessons there?
From failure, we learned a lot of lessons. We failed on many points. It wasn't success for us. What we learned actually from Kickstarter is how, I think, in a good way to address our customers and to explain to them what's special about our project, our product, because there's tons of projects every day on Kickstarter. So you go on Kickstarter anytime. There's tons of stuff, and there's really nice stuff and really innovative stuff. Mm-hmm. So it's very hard to stand out. It's very hard to get attention. So we learned how to be more focused and to get people's attention to what's special about us in the first moments they see a project, and not just say stuff that's regular and everybody else has it. We learned to be more focused on how we present a product.
Okay, so basically being mindful about the way in which you're introducing it and having some kind of way that it makes it stand out or pop out, right, when it comes to people checking it out.
Yeah, and that's a problem in Kickstarter, and it's a problem later as well, because we always have the problem. We all want to stand out with any product we make for any category, and it's not easy. So if we do have a special point about us, we have to know how to present it. And we had a good lesson about it in Kickstarter.
If you had to put that into words as to why that was, or why you realized that, right? Like why that lesson really came about, was it that one you made didn't connect, or was it that one that you made really did connect? Why was that a lesson that you took away?
It's a lesson that we took away because we've learned from comments about there's Kickstarter comments, and there are people. In the same time we had Kickstarter, we put the videos and everything on other platforms. So from the comments we had, we really understood that some people said, "Oh, okay, but it's not the only folding lock in the world. What's so special about it? Lots of companies already did it." Mm-hmm. And in the other hand, there were comments about, "Ooh, you made something special. Your company made something different." So we understood from the comments how we have to highlight the special points about the product we make.
And if you were to really share just a tiny bit of like that secret sauce, is that with video? Is that with images? Like, how do you really highlight that in a way that makes it stand out? Do you have any thoughts on that?
Kickstarter wise, specifically Kickstarter, the first image is critical for a project, because when you scroll on the Kickstarter platform, doesn't matter if you use if it's mobile or a PC, so you see lots and lots and lots of things.
Mhm.
So you really have to make the image stand out. Not even first thing, you know what? I'll say it like this: in the image, people have to understand what's the product, because many times they see a nice image, but they don't understand what's the product. So then they just keep scrolling to the next one. So
Yeah.
the image wise specifically, make people understand what are they seeing. Not even what's special, just what are they seeing, because many times the images are unclear. It's not clear what you're seeing or what you're getting, so you don't go in, you just keep scrolling to the next one.
So have a scroll stopper is what you would say
Have
there.
a scroll stopper, and in the video, of course, like any video today, you have to get people's attention, and not people's attention because you already have their attention. So actually it's a bit different, so you don't have to, the video doesn't have to stop them. What has to stop them is the image, but the video has to explain quite quickly what's special about the project, because they're already in. They're going to watch the video. They're not going to click to the next video like in specific platforms and in 2 seconds. You have their attention. They're in it, but explain quickly what's special about your project. Why would people like to have what you're doing?
If you're worried about the fulfillment and shipping part of your Kickstarter campaign when it comes to getting out all those perks and rewards to your backers, rest assured I've put together a complete Kickstarter fulfillment and shipping checklist for you, and it's free. This is sponsored by the folks at Fulfillrite, and they thought that you should have this checklist as part of your arsenal going into a crowdfunding campaign. If you want to get instant access to this checklist, and it's free, you can go to fulfillrite.com/checklist. Again, that is fulfillrite.com/checklist, fulfillrite.com/checklist. Just go to that link and you can download it immediately. And scrolling down your page, like looking at it here, you also have a really nice GIF that just very quickly shows the features and shows how it works and how this thing can go with you anywhere, right? Whether you're biking in New York City or biking in Miami, right? I'm sure you could take this product with you. So it sounds like GIF is also another one.
Yeah, GIFs. If we're talking again about specifically about Kickstarter, I think GIFs they do a great work, because you can put them on the when you put them on people don't have to click them to see them. So of course, as any GIF, but specifically on Kickstarter, they're very useful, and you see a lot of successful projects that use a lot of GIFs to explain about the product. It's a very good tool for a Kickstarter, a good GIF, and we use a few of them. And not only we do, many projects do, and then it's the right way.
So first takeaway that I have is you got to focus on something that's unique and really like present that in a great way and do it quick, right? Do it fast.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think that's a huge learning lesson. One other question, in thinking about your story, I mean, you've been able to kind of live the American dream in that you're doing your own business, you're coming out with new products. What's been like the most memorable part of that story? Or has it been a day where you're like, man, this was all worth it, like all the hard work we've been doing? Was there ever like a moment like that?
I don't want to like disappoint, but I don't think there's a moment like that, because it's and for me at least, it's all about hard work, and we're finishing one project and we're doing the next, and we're selling the majority of the products now, of course, outside Kickstarter. Every product we launch on Kickstarter later sold thousands or tens of thousands of products outside Kickstarter. So it's not only a Kickstarter, and the moments that we're talking about is as I told you before, for me specifically, if I walk on the street, and it happens to many times, and I see a product that we make that is used by other people, that what makes it for me. That's the moment, and there's many small moments.
Yeah. So discipline and really focusing and hitting deadlines. It sounds like it's a really key trait there. Why do you think some people are like that, and other people maybe have an idea and they don't do anything with it? or they just like scribble something on a napkin, but they never actually take action? What do you really think is holding people back from seeing and actually doing that?
Well, because it's I think for any of us, it's hard to really make something happen. It's hard to get an idea and make it happen. I personally had a big advantage because we were in producing metal industrial parts before. So yes, I had a dream on a napkin, but I knew how to go forward because I knew how to produce stuff. So that was a big advantage for us. So it's
So even learning more about manufacturing, learning more about design, or like creating a prototype, that might be useful, you would say.
definitely, definitely.
Cool. Well, first of all, I mean, you've done awesome. I mean, you guys are at 130K off a 10K goal. You've been doing phenomenal. Have anything's been, you feel like, different with Kickstarter this time around since you got started? Has it changed at all as a platform?
I think that maybe Kickstarter changed a bit because at least I feel that it's more like it's better now for projects even that are very creative, that are very special, that they have, even if it's an actual product, that they have some arts in them, or not just regular stuff that or that people just want to sell on Kickstarter. I think the Kickstarter platform is giving more attention to stuff that's really creative and really nice, and not just okay, buy a product and get it for a discount. So the Kickstarter platform itself is giving more attention to those kind of projects.
Got it. So something that's not just like another, selling it online. It's like a Me Too, but it's more unique, is what you're saying.
Yeah, it was always about Kickstarter being unique, but I think now the people themselves on Kickstarter, I don't know, I didn't talk to them. I'm just assuming from what I see, they're giving more and more place for unique things that have a real creative side to them.
Love that. And the other thing I noticed this time around, I mean, there's so much stuff online, dude. Like you Google, right? Like there's so many people that are saying, oh, you should do a 60-day campaign. You should do a 30-day campaign. You went with a 22-day campaign. What motivated that choice? I was really curious about that.
Well, I think because there's a very clear graph in campaigns. There's a very clear graph that the campaign gets a lot of attention in the first couple of days. That's just something you get from the platform itself. If it's a new campaign and people are interested, it's putting it in the upper parts of each category, and then it happens again that you have more attention from the platform at the end of a couple of days at the end, because people are saying, oh, we don't want to miss the chance to buy the product. There are just 2 days left, 3 days left. Mm-hmm. So you're getting that attention naturally at the beginning, at the end. But in the middle, it's all a dead zone. So if you're not generating really lots of traffic from outside the platform, you better make a short campaign, because otherwise your campaign is going to just it's all the time in the middle. It's just gonna drop and drop and drop, and it's not good. Mm-hmm. So unless you really know how to generate tons of traffic from outside the platform, make a campaign short. That's I'm saying it quite definitely.
And for that reason, kind of creating that urgency, right? And getting people to take action now versus waiting around till later. It sounds like.
And then because every company should be able to create some kind of traffic to their campaign, and there's many ways, of course, to do it. But to do it for 60 days a row to create traffic to go in your campaign, well, that's super difficult. And that's really hard. So we prefer to concentrate our efforts in 22 days and not spend the same stuff we have on 60 days. I think it's the right way to go.
Yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense. So just kind of been thinking about this. You jumpstart a new product on Kickstarter. It sounds like you can give ballpark numbers, but like when you're selling online after that, is it like 10 times more? Is it like 5 times more? What is discovering this new product and market fit? What does that mean for you in the long run when it comes to like an online store or selling online?
That's a good question. That's a great question. I think it depends on the product. If it's a really super special product that people are less likely to buy, but it's like super unique. So there's some product that do great on Kickstarter, but later they really die off quickly because they're so unique and so special, but nobody really needs them. Mm-hmm. So then they do very well on Kickstarter, but later they won't do too well. As we do bike locks, we do special bike locks, but in the end it's a bike lock. So people always need bike locks, and so we continue with our products on Amazon and so on and so on. And I can tell you, for one of the products that we made, we launched it on Kickstarter in 2016. We sold 700 units, so it was $67,000. Mm-hmm. But since then, we sold them for, well, I'll tell you the number, a couple of $1 million on Amazon. So the same product.
Boom.
Yeah.
Wow. It's incredible, just the level of opportunity that's out there. And yeah, I appreciate you being so transparent with that. I think it's going to motivate a heck of a lot of people for sure.
Yeah. So again, that's not something that I would like tell everybody to do. That was something we are doing. We're trying to create products that will do well later as well. And the Kickstarter is a great opportunity for us to jumpstart and to begin and to get the first attention. And we love the platform. And that's why we're going to do more projects on Kickstarter. But we're not doing projects that are just meant for Kickstarter. We're doing projects that are meant to be sold later.
Smart man.
In other platforms as well.
Yeah, that's great. So first of all, I have one or two more questions for you, but where can people go to learn more about your current campaign, be able to pre-order your product? Where can they go to learn more about this?
Well, we don't have a campaign right now. We're launching a campaign at the end of September, actually. So that's really soon. And they'll find it out on Kickstarter. And there's going to be like a landing page on our website for the new campaign starting on the 9th of September, 9/9 this year.
Okay. And what website should they go to?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, of course. It's SEATYLOCK.com, but we're special SEATYLOCK because our first product was a bike seat that turns into a lock. So it's Seat Y Lock. So it's SEATYLOCK.com. So SEATYLOCK.com.
So yeah, I just have two more questions for you here, and I'll make sure to link that up as well in the show notes. So the first one is kind of on something I think is really important going into any kind of a launch or any kind of a new product, which is mindset. What do you think the mindset is that a business owner or creator should have when going into one of these campaigns?
What kind of mindset? Try to focus me more on my reply. So
yeah, when it comes to mindset, sometimes I think people go into a campaign really trying to just swing for the fences. Other people are doing a small campaign. Some people need to think bigger when it comes to that. What do you feel like is the mindset you have, maybe is a better question, when you go into one of these campaigns? Is it just trying it out, seeing how it goes? What's your thoughts?
We're trying it. We're trying it out and see how it goes, but we specifically are already focusing to the audience we have. We're focusing to our the customer base we have, and we have tens of thousands of people that are buying our products every year outside Kickstarter. So we're trying to let them know about the new project. That's why we have already some kind of an advantage versus a company that doesn't have a regular customer base. So our strategy is a bit different. So I don't know if I have good advices for companies who don't have a regular customer base.
Okay, understood. And the other one would be, last question is kind of on, you understanding this process and really learning, which is, what role does education play in your business or in doing these product launches? Are you learning mainly from your customers? Are you learning from books? Like, how do you train yourself?
Kickstarter wise?
Yes, or with a new launch of a new product.
Two replies. New launch of a new product. We're learning from comments we have from our customers regarding the current projects we have and the current products we do. So we learn from our customer base about what's the new stuff we need to do for them. And Kickstarter wise, you learn from a campaign to a campaign. When you make a campaign, and it's lots of work and lots of stuff around it. So we as a team, we work 4 people. We work on every campaign. So we just hopefully improve from one campaign to another, and we just learn from the comments we get from our customers.
Love it. Awesome, man. Thank you so much for coming on the podcast. Looking forward to your upcoming launch. I'll make sure to link up your website in the show notes, but thank you so much for coming on. I really appreciate it, and a lot of great advice.
Sure. Thank you. Thanks, Salvador. Thanks a lot.
Thank you for listening to this episode of the Crowdfunding Demystified podcast. Again, my name is Salvador Briggman. Hope you enjoyed today's podcast episode and you took away a lot of great lessons, advice when it comes to raising money from the crowd. And in the beginning of this episode, I did mention that I have a great book, obviously, the Kickstarter launch formula. But if you also want the free course that kind of accompanies that book, I'm going to share that link with you. This is a video training course, not only filled with and packed with tutorials, but also the step-by-step that you need to do in order to actually raise money from the crowd. Some of the tricks, tools, resources that I've discovered that I'm going to share with you in this free course. Go to crowdcrux.com/Kickstarter. That link is crowdcrux.com/Kickstarter. crowdcrux.com/Kickstarter. I've been reflecting a lot on my business career. And I think that one of the formative experiences that I had very early on was that one of my friends at George Washington University, their father, or their grandfather rather, was actually an entrepreneur and a business person. And they had built multiple successful companies. And that was kind of like the first time I really met like a real entrepreneur. Growing up, I was fortunate enough to grow up into a decent household, and I knew a lot of like doctors and accountants, like that kind of stuff, lawyers, etc. But I never really met an entrepreneur. And that was the first time is that when I got introduced to this individual who runs a big company, right, in New York City, he actually told me one thing that really resonated with me. And he said, there's a lot of ups and downs when it comes to a business career, but if you do one thing, you'll be successful. And I remember this, I was on the phone call with him. I felt so nervous, right? I was so scared because I'm like, oh my gosh, this guy is like a huge deal. And I just got like an idea or whatever. And, we spent a little bit of time on the idea, but then he told me this and it really stuck with me. And what he said was, you got to surround yourself with the right people. And specifically, he was talking about people who can do things which you don't know anything about. Sometimes you're incredibly smart, you're very hardworking, but if you don't have the right skill set, you need to get around the right people and have them join your team. The ability to craft and build a team of people that are effective and working hard towards a goal is far superior to being able to build a simple product or a prototype. Right? The team is what you are architecting. If you're trying to do something that's greater than yourself and drawing from many different strengths and many different disciplines. So this really stuck with me, and I hope that lesson also is useful for you. But that's kind of when I started my career. I realized that I always wanted to make myself available to the crowd, right? You guys have given me so much when it comes to my readers, my listeners, my YouTube viewers, etc. So one of the things that I still continue to do to this day is I make myself available via an individual one-on-one intensive coaching call. So this is really for people that are serious, that really want to dial in when it comes to their campaign, when they want feedback every step of the way, hand-holding, but also to have that correct launch strategy. Because at the end of the day, you don't know what you don't know when it comes to this. And if you really want me to join your team, not only through this intensive coaching call, but also maybe even talking about ways I can help you with execution, I'm going to share a link with you where you can book that intensive coaching call, which is also an investment to get started there. But if you're ready and you're serious about this, and you want to speed up the process of launching a Kickstarter or Indiegogo campaign, here's the link to do that. All you got to do is go to crowdcrux.com/coaching. That link is crowdcrux.com/coaching, crowdcrux.com/coaching. Doesn't matter where you are, you can surround yourself with the right people. And thank you so much for listening to us, being a fly on the wall in today's interview. Hope you enjoy the next one. In fact, I know you will next week. Thank you so much. Work hard towards your goals. Again, my name is Salvador Briggman, and I will see you next time.